we know that Brazil got what, roughly 217 million registered human beings in the country. So is that right? About 217, 220, something like that. Am I close?
The population of Brazil in '84?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would
No. Today.
Now, 220, yeah.
220, that's about 220.
220, yeah.
And you got so many precious black folk in Brazil. Ooh, when you get to Bahia and others, you see levels of rich African and New World spirituality that has set the whole world on fire. In fact, in the most barbaric century of recorded time, which is the 20th century, almost 200 million people were killed in the name of various ideologies, imperialism, communism, Nazism, and so forth. That the greatest artistic breakthrough having to do with spirituality was black music, especially in the New World, in the United States, in Brazil, in the Caribbean. Spiritual fortitude, moral courage, and artistic creativity. Now, precisely because that spirituality is so rich that the powers that be want to colonize it. They want to control it. They want to channel it for their own interests. Because they know that once you get those drums start beating, and once the body start moving, and once the music kicks in, people are brought in, they're seduced, they are immersed in it. And it's no accident that the forms of Christian evangelicalism, much of it coming from the U.S. empire, we should know, because I mean, historically, Brazil's been a Catholic country, right? But it's more and more Protestant evangelicalism. We've seen the same thing in Africa, seen the same thing in other parts of the world, in Caribbean and so forth. It's been widespread in the United States. I mean, our religious right is primarily a right-wing Protestant evangelical form of spirituality that is channeled toward the status quo. It's channeled toward trying to convince those religious folk who are reveling in very deep forms of spirituality, but they cut off and they truncate any critique of empire, any critique of capitalism, any serious critique of racism. And at that point, Karl Marx's point is a crucial one. At that point, religion really does become the opiate of the people. It becomes an impotent form of protest that reinforces the very conditions that need to be transformed if the best of their religion is to be enacted. So that prophetic religion of Martin Luther King Jr. is viewed as left-wing optimism, part of this secular decadence that we're concerned about in the name of a truncated, narrow, highly commodified Jesus. So that the Jesus that ran the money changers out of the temple, when Jesus entered that temple, there was 400 troops protecting that temple. And he went through it anyway. He went with a ragtag group of disciples, most of whom would betray him or deny him. But he ran those money changers out. Not because he hated rich people, but because he loved poor people. He hated the greed of rich people. That Jesus, the Jesus of liberation theology, the Jesus of Gustavo Gutierrez, the Jesus of Hugo Osmond, the Jesus that we can go a whole long, rich tradition of prophetic Christians. That Jesus is pushed out of the church. You never hear the Jesus running changes out of the temple creek in the right-wing evangelical churches. You certainly don't see the pictures on the wall. No, you see a highly commodified, a market-driven spirituality. In religion as well as in the music, there's a battle, an ideological battle. Maria Tati and others understood this in Brazil way back then. Antonio Gramsci understood this way back then. There's a cultural and spiritual war going on over the hearts and minds of foreign working people. And if the right-wing evangelical movement can win their hearts and minds, they become well-adjusted, to the empire, well adjusted to unjust capitalist conditions, well adjusted to their situation, and all they need is just that spirituality going up rather than that spirituality also going horizontally, become parts of movements, social movements to change the world in light of what? In light of the last being first and the first being last. Very interesting that Francis Fanon actually begins with that biblical formulation and wretched of the earth, because he knows that the prophetic powers of so much of the best of, of the prophetic legacies of Jerusalem, it could be Judaism, it could be Islam, it could be Christianity, it could be Santa Maria, all of these, it could be Maroons in Jamaica. All of these folk tried to resist and using spirituality in the forms of resistance. It could be Bob Marley in Jamaica. It could be Curtis Mayfield or John Coltrane's Love Supreme in the United States. It could be Nina Simone, St. Mississippi Got Down, Backlash Blues. Those forms of spirituality, prophetic ones, progressive ones, are the ones we need to push. But you are so right, though, brother, that the neo-fascism of our day, they understand spiritual warfare. And we on the left need to hit it head on, or they'll try to steal all of the richness of our spiritual breakthroughs created by poor and working people for the most part.